some time now, I've been wanting to tell stories on this channel, but the creativity hasn't struck me. But last night, I wrote a story, and though it only had 1 or 2 edits, I enjoyed it enough that I did a one-shot reading and decided that it should wind up on this channel. And though pain, to me, does not equal art unless I've had plenty of time to process it, the world is terrible and full of pain. So let's have story time. It's hard to tell if it's a star in the night sky or a plane with these bad eyes of mine. Sometimes I just can't tell if that little spot of light is going somewhere or just holding on to wishes. My mother always told me not to catch falling stars in nets just to hold on to someone else's dreams. And don't go chasing planes if you're not going to figure out how to build your own. When you arrived, I told you this. I had traveled plenty, and I was sanding the wings of my own plane. You said you wanted to help me make it. You had an engine, and you thought it might be the right size. So when you brought it and I saw the heart scratched on the side, I told you no. You can bring the tools and your companionship, but you can't bring that. You were angry until I told you, I am building this plane for my dreams. I can help you build yours, because at the end of the road, we cannot do this alone. But I do not want love, and I won't be tricked into having your heart. You nodded and knelt beside me. You asked what was needed to make it complete, and so began our journey. I asked so many times what your plane needed, but you kept it hidden from me, clutched in your hands, so close to your heart, so tightly that you could barely help to build mine. We tried so many times to make my plane fly. Every time I muttered, I believed in us. And you would look sorrowful. Then that final day, I decided that we should put my plane aside and try yours for a bit. But you insisted. But I insisted. And I tried to pry it from your hands, and you ran from me, grabbing the propeller, spinning it, screaming, "It's going to work. It's got to work." And as the engine sputtered out, I said, as I had so many times, I believed in us. And that is when your tears fell, and your arms unwrapped, and I tried to catch a glimpse of your plane, but only saw my star crushed into your heart, as if years of pressure had blended them together into some foul thing. With my bad sight, it is so difficult to see if that glimmer in the dark is a plane or a star. But that's when I knew why my plane wouldn't fly. Half your heart was missing. I scrambled to the front and saw it tied to my engine, a clumsy chunk of the engine you brought on the first day we met, the one I told you not to bring. I ripped it off, and the engine roared for the skies, a tiger in slumber for far too long, begging for the cage to be opened. I leapt in and looked at you one last time before I reached to fly past the stars. I looked at you one last time. I believed. I told you when we first met, I do not want love, and I will not be tricked into having your heart. And I found myself alone amidst the blackness and wishes, and I found I would catch no stars to hold but the one I made, not the one you corrupted. And I found that I would ride in no one's plane but my own from here on out. And far above all else, I knew that your heart would not lead the plane I worked so hard to build. With my bad eyes, it is so hard to know what is a plane and what is a star in the night sky. But now that I am so close, I no longer need to worry.
Thank you for listening to Storytime. You have a good whatever time it is, and don't die on the way home.